Hello, my Astro friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and today I'm here with my friend Zorina, who is also the CEO and creator of Learn and Heal. Heal and Learn? Learn.
Heal and Learn.
Heal and Learn.
Hi, Lada.
Hi, Zori. And Zori is going to talk today about intuition and what is intuition and reset of intuition.
Yes, thank you, Lada. Thank you so much. So where do I start? I'll start with the title, Intuition Reset 21. It's a counterstrike to Agenda 21 or the Great Reset 21 or whatever it is.
I love it. The great, they want to suppress intuition in humans. That's what the biggest war right now. It's happening not because, because they know people are awakening and the intuition is increasing and they're rushing in. There was even some whistleblowers that was saying that, this was planned for 2030 or 2050 even, but they rushed it in much earlier because they started realizing that people are awakening much faster. There was like a big wave of awakening last 2 years, especially last year with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius. So they have to rush up and block the intuition and the inner knowing of people. So you're doing Counterstrike.
The Counterstrike with the intuition reset, yeah. Because the way to deprogram yourself is to know your intuition, to be able to read the signs, to be able to tell truth from a lie, to be able to know what is the quickest way for you to reach the place that you want to reach, to know what you're meant to do, to know when somebody's doing something at a detriment for you, to know if the news that you're hearing are a lie or are correct. You can discern a lot of things when you use your intuition correctly. And the other thing is that intuition is actually what brings you forward in life the most, because it is the only thing that knows the quickest way between you and where you want to get to. Mm-hmm. When you ask CEOs in studies, what has brought them forward or why their companies are successful, they say it's because of my intuition. And some people would now argue, but it's intuition that is fed with a lot of knowledge, and intuition is based on hard knowledge, like analytical knowledge, and because they've been doing this business for so long, it's internalized, and this is intuition. But that's not intuition. That's your trained analytical mind. And intuition is being able to use information from the environment, to be able to read people, to be able to read a subtle subconscious signs, to be able to read from your dreams, or even assign a question or a problem to be solved in your dreams so that you're given an answer. So intuition is much more than what people think it is. Mm-hmm. It's not just being overly sensitive or using your emotional intelligence. It's actually accessing all this information that is around us, that exists, but we are not able to read it because we don't know. We've lost the skill.
Okay, so because how I had a vibrational reading, and my highest out of 1,000 points, which is enlightenment, my highest reading was intuition, because I always thought I was not psychic. I don't hear voices. I don't have visions or anything like that, but I get a body high. When something is true, I get goosebumps. And for me, like, I associate my intuition. Do I get goosebumps, like a body high, or no? When I get goosebumps, I know I'm getting the right information. I'm doing the right reading. And the other, is that intuition as well? Could this be intuition? For everyone can be different?
It's a part of intuition. Yeah, but intuition is not one thing. It's just being able to interpret correctly the information you're receiving. You're becoming an interpreter of information that most people don't read and don't even notice.
Okay, so I would understand then why my intuition shows so high, because I look for signs in everything. Like for the smallest thing, I say, if I have to do this, God send me a sign. And like I told you an example yesterday on the full moon in Scorpio, which was in my 9th house, a huge stress happened for us because of visas that my husband can travel, and they said, it will take you 4 or 5 months to get that visa, and we want to travel for the summer. And I was just falling apart. And I prayed to God and I said, God, give me a sign if we're going to be able to travel, whether even to try for this visa. And in the morning, I wake up and I receive an email from an astrologer I know, and she says, I don't know why, but I dreamt that you and your husband were in Bulgaria for the summer, and I had a strong feeling I had to write to you that you will be in Bulgaria in the summer and you traveled there. And I told her, I had this huge thing that they told us very likely we won't be able. She says, no, it will happen, don't worry. So I'm like, is this intuition as well? It is, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to program it, but it's another thing to be able to read and find the most appropriate way to get there. Because with intuition, you actually get shortcuts. When you set an intention, when you set a goal, the universe, as they say, conspires. I know that this word is used a lot in manifestation courses, but indeed, the universe conspires to give you the shortest cut to where you need to go. It gives you an answer. It's like a program that makes a code for you that is the exact code that fits in your puzzle. It's your puzzle piece.
Wow.
So let me give you
learning to read signs, basically. Okay, give us an example.
No, it's not only learning to read signs. It's also, I'm going to give you the example because it's also a part of what it includes. Intuition. It's not only signs. It could be downloading information in the correct form that you need it, that you've made your intention to collect, to get the answer. It could be actually a large volume of information. It could be what Einstein dealt with, because he said he dreamt his formulas at night, and only during the day he actually started to decode, and it took him years to actually decode and work out the formulas that he had dreamt in the night. And lots of inventors work the same way. And my example is actually from a couple of days ago. I talked to a friend of mine from my school, and she asked me, but how did you change your career path? I was previously in a corporation, I was working in strategy, and she said, but how did you start creating courses? Do you use somebody else's courses or do you create them yourself? And I said, her name is Stefania, and I said, Stefania, the way I create courses is by downloading. I sit down, I know what the goal is, I just set the goal, and the course basically starts downloading. Like the first course that I ever offered for you, the Start a Business with Meaning, I created in 2 evenings. And this course that I'm offering now, I created in 20 minutes. I'm no joke. It's just that when you know what you're doing, the information just comes streaming, and it's the least effort that you exert.
So this is okay. Then I have a powerful intuition because I download everything. For example, I had a goal. I wanted and I started thinking for almost like a month. I was obsessed and thinking how I can grow the business. And then there was an eclipse on my ascendant, and that 1 week, every day it's like everything I would open, every idea, and I had to write. The whole week I was writing down all the ideas, and I'm still 2 years into working them. So it's when you align your mind with a thought, maybe that's what you mean, intention, and set an intention. And I said, I want strategies and ideas how to develop this business. Like I want a more sustainable business formula where I don't have to work all the time, where I give a lot more for free for people, where it can be the biggest platform of astrology in the world. And I was like, how do I do that? And the ideas just came. It was like, suddenly I would read an article, or I was reading a random book, I was reading an astrology magazine, and all those ideas connected, they pop at you. And I just wrote them down, and I've been doing this for the last 2 years. But everything, even when I'm doing my videos, I think of the astrological influences, and then they start talking themselves. It's like, it's not even reading from a script. It just comes ready-made into my head. So this is intuition. This is
also intuition. Exactly. Well, compare the effort that you're exerting and the quality of work that you can provide, because it's much higher quality than what you would do if you had to analyze everything. It would be a much slower process, and you wouldn't reach the same impact, because here you involve emotion as well in the intuition. So the method that I'm teaching, which is based on the Silva method, it's similar to the Heal and Learn, the other 96% that I used to offer, but this one is going to be focused specifically on intuition and not on so much on manifesting and on healing. But what brought me to this course was also the realization that everybody who had done my previous courses said that they had an increase of intuition. So they can, without it being the goal, just by using the method, they were noticingly increasing their intuition. They could pick up on dreams. They were remembering dreams, which they couldn't do before. They were able to analyze. They were receiving signs. They just knew how to do things. And that's a huge skill if you think about it. I mean, would you rather learn how to make the perfect graph or know how to get to the right answer?
Yeah, to be honest, before I used to call psychics, but in the 10 years of work in astrology, I think my intuition has grown so much that when I have a question, I receive the answers from outside in dreams or just like inspirations that they'll come as a fully formed ideas. So I don't even speak with psychics so much anymore. I found this, my method is much stronger. I didn't know that was intuition. I thought it was like me looking for signs and trying to interpret signs, but I guess it's part of what intuition is. What can be a big blockage to intuition?
The biggest roadblock is trusting what you see in this other realm, what you see with your internal eye. This is what people always ask me. So how do I know this is true? How do I know I'm not imagining this? And there's a way to overcome it. First of all, you ask for at least 3 consecutive signs. You don't need them, but just for your security, so that you trust. And then you receive more than one. Maybe somebody will call you, you read something, or you see, I don't know, an old piece of clothing, and this will remind you of something, or you'll hear a song, many external signs. But anyhow, the question is, you can ask for at least 3 signs. This is one part. And the other thing is, once you start getting positive results, so once you see it works, you trust it more and more.
Yes.
It grows with time. It's not like suddenly you're going to wake up, even after this training, suddenly you're going to wake up and you're going to say, I'm super intuitive. I'm going to teach you, of course, the basics, and you're going to see an improvement, but it's a process where you have to train it and trust it. But you know what one of the major benefits is that you become more self-confident when you trust your intuition.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's what I feel. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. And I remember
because
at the beginning, I didn't trust intuition a lot because I was thinking, I was imagining exactly. And then some really powerful intuitions would happen. I would be bicycling and crying. I had like a big heartbreak 10 years ago, and I was bicycling and crying my eyes out around the streets of Paris and feeling so sorry for myself. And I said, and I never prayed to Archangel Michael. I don't know why. Suddenly I said, Archangel Michael, please tell me things will be okay. Give me a sign. And while I'm saying that and crying, I make a corner and a huge statue of Archangel Michael stepping on the dragon in the middle of Paris. And I just broke down there, cried even more, but from joy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, that's a huge sign.
Yeah. Everything improved within a month of the whole situation. And I was like, from such really big signs, I started trusting the smaller and the smaller and the smaller. And now it's like, I would use it for the smallest thing. Like, should I drink this tea or that tea? That's such a ridiculous thing. Now and my husband even gets annoyed with me so much. He says, you sound so confident. How do you know this is the right thing to do? I'm like, I don't know. It just grows in you. You're right. So there are special techniques to train that in you.
Yes, there are special techniques. When a lot of the training is based on the Silva method. So a lot of these techniques are learning how to read the signs in alpha state, or learning how to, even if you don't go in alpha, but for example, use the 3-finger technique to get an immediate answer if you're on the go, to know what you need to know.
Techniques, really?
Yeah, there are such techniques.
Is it the kinesiology, this 3-finger technique? Is it something to do with kinesiology?
Well, I first read it as a part of the Silva method, but I know that it comes from the Hindu religion because I've had comments under some other videos that I've had on the 3-finger technique where people say that it's in the Hindu religion, something for memorize. Oh, you mean neuro-linguistic programming maybe?
No,
I don't think they use it.
It's the muscle.
No, it's not kinesiology.
Okay, so this is something, it's an ancient technique if it's Hindu technique.
I don't know it from the Hindus, but they say they have it as well.
Okay. Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
And this will be like 2-week workshop that you're doing, reset of the intuition?
2 weekends, both Saturday and Sunday. So 2 parts. One can sign up only for the first part or get both parts. I mean, you can't go to the second part unless you've done the first one, but you can choose to do only the first part.
Wonderful.
If you want to go deeper and learn to speak to your counsel, create a counsel, ask them for advice, for guidance. If you want to learn psychometry, you can, this is also intuition, touching something and sourcing information from it. For example, if I touch this object and I'm connected to you, you're thinking about me in alpha state and the object that I'm holding, you'd be able to read this information. And this is also intuition. The applications are, vast. It depends how you want to use it and apply it. Of course, you wouldn't be walking around just touching people's objects and getting information from them, but maybe there's something that you need to buy or.
Yeah. Well, I remember one of the big prophets, Slava Sivrukova. She said if a person has a problem and they can't sort it out and they're really stuck, they should go close to children and listen to their conversations. And she said often you'd receive the answer just in a word by children talking. She said God talks a lot through children, but intentionally, just if you're in a difficult situation, if there are children around you, listen to what they're saying and you can get an answer about such situation. And another method, she said, is open the Bible anywhere randomly. And I think she said on the left page, the first sentence that you see will carry meaning for you. I've done this with the Bible many times. Or I would go to a bookstore and there was one book that had answers in it. One page, one sentence or whatever. And I remember I had a huge issue then and I asked and I got the right answer. I do it like a game almost. That's how I started training it. I'll do it with game, either with the Bible, with another book, with kids, just listening. And sometimes I'll walk down the street and I say, I want an answer. Should I go and do that? And I was planning to do something. And just about when I'm about to turn in the direction, a huge stop sign, like a huge one that I've never seen. And I'm like, okay. So this is how I train it, because I'm very rational and logical. I don't trust my imagination. But when I see external sign, I start connecting it. And now from the external, when I was getting all those external confirmations, now I start to trust the internal one a lot more. And the internal imaginings, or whatever you'd call them, that it's more like my higher self talking to me through this. So that's fascinating.
This with the children works, by the way. I've done this not knowing about what Slava Sivrukova had said, but I often listen to my child, especially when I need answers, and he always gives me answers. And the thing with the book is it works with any book.
Yes.
Not necessarily with the Bible.
Yes, exactly. I've done it with many books. Again, this is a story that I was one day to the end of we were in Bulgaria and my son was being horrible. I think he had teeth growing. He was screaming. He was not listening. And I said, I was thinking he's a little monster. He must have some neurological damage, or I was thinking the worst thing. And I'm like, how can I be a parent to such a child? And I was crying all day. And my husband comes and says, oh, he's been so annoying all day, walking behind me with the book. And he was 1.5 years, walking behind me with the book and giving it to me. And I said, really? He said, yeah, 5 times he's come to me and pushing and getting angry and screaming if I don't get the book. And I said, get the book. And he turns around, takes the book from my son. And I say, open it on the first page, on any page. He opens it. And the sentence that says, is a sentence from a psychic that makes a reading for someone. And she says, your son is highly evolved spiritual being, but his talents will show up later in life. Like, oh my God. And this has kept him because he's very difficult character. He's double Scorpio, moon and ascendant in Scorpio. He's intense, extreme, very controlling. And it's been this sentence, that one thing has kept me to have kind of respect for him and to know, okay, you are not Satan incarnate. You're spiritual being with strong character that, that will unfold later on in life. So sorry, I said too strong words. I'm just kidding, trying to exaggerate that way, but it works. It's incredible. And for me, it works so powerfully with external signs, but now then the internal is starting to work is even more powerful method, but it took me a lot to believe the internal side.
Your mind works a lot with associations. I'm not talking about your brain, but your mind, because your mind also uses associations in the ethereal world. Mm-hmm. So when you need an answer, it's not necessarily coming through a synchronicity or an external sign. You could be sitting down and I don't know, asking a question like, even what is my purpose, even something like that. And you start contemplating, and maybe you write something down, maybe you write something else, or you watch something. And when you have set your mind to it, it automatically starts calculating and giving you already the answers.
Yes, that's what's happening now. At the beginning, I didn't trust that. Now I just download information and I know it. For example, when Nicholas' wife said that he's gone into hospital, I immediately had a pit in my stomach. And I was like, this is not going to be good. And I lit a candle later during the day. And I put the candle in a candle holder for him. And suddenly that candle caught on fire and it burst in flames. And the candle fire burned. It was plastic one and melted. And I was like, this is not good. And I found out that he died that hour, that minute when I lit the candle. So it's powerful. I think we're so interconnected. Whatever our thought is, if we can read the information, you'll always get all the information that you need, and it's incredible. For me, all of this is intuition. It's you're working on a 4-dimensional level somehow, 5th-dimensional. But it started for me with external proof, and now I just trust the internal feeling, because I don't even need the external proof. The feeling comes inside. When you're calm.
When you're calm, yes.
When you're stressed, I was like, we're not going. I was losing it. Then I calmed down and I set my mind, did a little visualization. So the answers started coming. And the answers came as an idea as well to me, what I have to do to get that visa faster. So we're going to, anyway, too many personal information, but that's a fascinating topic.
Yeah. My condolences about Nicola, by the way.
Oh, he was a wonderful man.
Yes.
I'm getting a lot of signs from him and many people around the world. So they're seeing a lot of things that they know it's him. That's again your intuition, recognizing when you receive a sign from loved one. So it again shows the miracle of life. Someone even predicted already, and they wrote to me and said, Vlada, Nicola appeared to me many times like a spirit, like sending me messages. Like I didn't see him, but I feel he said he's gonna get incarnated like a third child. And I'm like, no, Nicola is my third child. You will walk everyone around. And he said that he told her to tell me that I recognize him by the blue eyes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure what my intuition says about that.
Hey, is your husband with blue eyes? No.
He's with green, but Nicola had piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
And if there is a third child with piercing blue eyes, I'll just know. But thank you so much. Sorry for all the stories but because I'm trying to figure out what the intuition is, so I was asking you all those questions and showing different possibilities of what I think intuition is.
Let me just tell you something, because this reminds me, and I just have to continue the conversation for a little while longer. The eyes, the blue eyes, remind me of something that I recently read in the book of Anastasia. It's about telegony, which is basically what the dogs have but apparently people have it as well. So if a dog is of breed and it interbreeds with a stray dog, it's not allowed to breed with a dog with a proper breed again, because it's considered spoiled. So, well, apparently the same thing occurs with people. It's just that people don't notice it. So it sometimes happens that when you think a lot about somebody from your past,
wow,
or you were very much in love with somebody else, or you carry somebody as an image in your heart, you may give birth to a child that carries their traits and even their physical appearance, and doesn't look like the child, although the biological child father is still the father of the child.
Oh, so basically, for example, your first big love was a Asian man and you're a white woman, you can have a child with a little bit more size.
There are cases like that, yes.
Yeah, I've read this about horses, that they've done it not with dogs but with zebras and horses or something like that, and they would the zebras, so they would interbreed horses with zebras or donkeys, and after that they would breed the horse with a normal horse, but he would give birth, the male would give a birth to a striped baby, even though the father is another horse. So it's maybe
it exists all
women to virgins, isn't it?
Exactly. Women have to purge before giving birth, because they carry the energy of their past loves.
Oh my God.
If they were very strong, you know.
Oh, no. No. Incredible. I have a friend, just tell you this interesting story. She's very spiritual, very intuitive. She meditates every day, and she's like 5 feet tall, and her husband is also 5 feet tall. They're both quite short, and she got pregnant, and her dream was to have a very tall child, to be a supermodel. It's like 6 feet something, and she started imagining all the time how her daughter that was growing her will be super tall, and she would visualize her, and she believed it so much that her daughter now is 6 years old and is taller than both of them. It's incredible.
Wow.
They're going to be at least 5'10" or 5'11". So she said, I made it, I manifest, I'm telling you, everything I imagined about her, and she's gorgeous. So I believe that in pregnancy, and for everything, when you put it in your mind and focus, and that's what you teach as well with the Silva method, isn't it? A lot. These are the same techniques.
It's creating,
compact.
In the end, it's creating the image of what you want. It has the same imprint as this aspect of biology. It translates to biology, but it's actually a spiritual concept, because you carry the energy of somebody else.
Oh, yeah. So if you don't want to carry the energy of someone else, what do? Do you do a cleansing before you get pregnant?
You can do a cleansing, but you can also work with your mind only. All you need to do is acknowledge the fact, where there's a problem or something that you don't want, and replace it with another image, with what you want.
That's again a method you teach, how to replace images. That's very powerful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Zori, for the interesting discussion again. And I'll put a link below. Whoever wants to take that course, it's a 2-week workshop of intuition reset with a lot of exercises, with a lot of techniques.
There is no restriction to the number this time, because depending on how many people join, I will split them in breakout rooms so they can train some exercises they can do on their own.
Perfect. And
so everybody would interact. Yeah.
Maybe you teach those techniques on the retreat in Bulgaria as well. You're teaching.
Sure. It has a different focus then. It won't be necessarily only on intuition. We're going to be talking a lot about free will, a lot about manifestation, of how to create exactly what we want. This training on intuition is more of more recognizing your own power. That's why it's called intuition reset. It's deprogramming you from what you're capable to do as a human.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Zori. Can't wait to meet you in person in Bulgaria. and do a lot of fun and inspiring activities together. Fingers crossed that we can be there on time. We will be. I know it. Intuition.
You will be. You will be. Can't wait either. It's going to be great. Lots of people are excited about it. So this energy has to
we have a lot of couples coming, actually. That will be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. Thank you so much, Zori. I'll put the link below for the retreat if anyone is interested to join a spiritual and astrology retreat about the new human of Aquarius, the new humanity of Aquarian age. And it will be in nature. We'll be out and about, trekking a lot of physical activity involved, and everything included. And if you'd like to take the workshop with Zori, there is a link below as well to her website. Thank you so much, Zori. Have a great week ahead.
Thank you, Lada. Have a great week too.
Bye.